Welcome to the Content Supply Podcast. I'm Dallin Need, and each episode we bring you an inspiring brand, creator, or message to help you discover how you can experience success in your business as we unpack stories and strategies about all things content and growing a successful brand. So this is just a whole discovery process for all of us. We feature a variety of different brands on the show, from entrepreneurs, entertainers, copywriters, marketers, coaches, athletes, to designers, filmmakers, photographers, and many more. All brand owners, all creators. So it's my belief, as with many others, that every company is a content company and has to be one to stay relevant and competitive. Because let's be honest, the internet is so full of brands that it can be very easy to get lost in the crowd. So quality and effective content really separates you. That's why Content Supply was created, to supply brands with ongoing custom content so they can engage with their customers by providing value, telling stories, and making more sales. And when we say content, I'm talking about video and audio and written or image, all and everything in between. All those. Content creation and building a business is really hard. You never finish the building and creating. Even after you experience some success, you have to keep going on the journey. Content Supply was created to be a resource, a community, and a solution to fill that large gap of content. So thanks for joining the show. Now let's get to the interview. First and foremost, with building Content Supply, it is a content marketing agency.
Yes.
And I have a handful of clients right now that I'm starting with, and I'm sampling out my process, from content creation, development strategy to the marketing side.
Okay.
And at the same time, where VA fits in is that extra assistance, kind of like how you built your dream team, right? Or
yes.
Those who support you, is building out a way for talented professionals to support the content creation side a little bit more, so the social media management.
I see.
And so
all right.
I was searching for hashtags and different options across Instagram, and that's why I came across VA Celebrity. And
okay, interesting.
Yeah, and so I found it very interesting, and I was like, hey, why not feature a VAA business on, my new podcast? And so, and just learning more about that world, because the VA world is still so new to me, of what the opportunities are, what the services may include, because it kind of can be, VAs can wear many hats to support a business.
Yep.
And so kind of getting a sense for what your brand story is. And we'll also get more into where you see it going, because now I just learned that you may kind of leave it a little bit.
I will never leave.
You'll never leave it. Okay.
No, I will never leave. I'll still be there, living my kingdom. But but I also believe, just touching on how I see VA Celebrity evolving, I believe that you can't do everything on your own. That's why I started a virtual assistance agency, because I want to lend assistance to people that need help. They single business owners, they're entrepreneurs, they have multiple things on the go, but they just need help with a portion of that. And their finances obviously don't allow them to employ someone full-time. Either their finances or just logistics, location, or they just don't want to, they just don't want the responsibility of having a full-time person. So that's where, VAs come in really handy, because we step in virtually, we do the work, and we leave. We're still there. You just can't see us. We're just an email away or a phone call away, or, whichever project management system you use, a ping away. But so the work gets done, but you don't have this attachment, this person there all the time, which I think a lot of business owners find refreshing, because they don't have to deal with all the drama that often goes along with employing someone full time.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, so basically with VA Celebrity, I hired two lovely girls who both started their own virtual assistant agencies, but they were really like, they still are in the very, very beginning. So they have their own struggles, with marketing their business and how to seal deals. So I sort of took them on as interns to try and teach them some of my expertise to help them through their, business startup process. And in return, they help me. So it's like, a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they get paid for their services. So they have one client, me, their first client, and they can sort of practice on me without feeling, that fear of dealing with a real client. So they've really developed, they've really, blossomed in their roles. And that's why I think that the logical next step for me would be to reward them with a bit more responsibility, and they'll still work for me as virtual assistants. And I will sort of take on a project management role. So I'll manage them, but they will be doing a lot of the work. And I find it's handy because I can also hire or get more clients that way.
Definitely. Well, and how did you find and discover them? Because they're not local to you, right? They're also virtual assistants that support you. So how do you go about finding that right talent that fits within your brand?
Right. So the one girl I found on LinkedIn, actually, she had been sort of liking and commenting on some of my stuff. I think also on Twitter. And then I bumped into her in a Facebook group, and I saw she was active there. And then it was actually, it's a Facebook group for virtual assistants, sort of, like a mastermind group. Everyone can come together, support, chat, bash out, and not do it on their personal Facebook where clients may be watching,
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a secret place to conspire against clients. No, I'm kidding. But it's just to get, we all struggle with the same thing, and we don't always have the answer. So it's just a place to meet up. So I had posted there that I was looking for 2 interns, and, I would be offering them sort of a subcontracting rate, because that's also a thing in the virtual assistant world, subcontracting to other virtual assistants. And so I would be paying them while I would be teaching them. And they jumped on it. And I interviewed quite a number of virtual assistants. And, I always believe trust your gut. And I just had a feeling with these 2. We just gelled really well. They just gave off a lovely vibe, and I like that. So I hired them, and it's worked out. I mean, I've hired other virtual assistants since then too, and they have not worked out, unfortunately. Sometimes clash of personality, work ethics, there's all sorts of things. So I think it's similar to a client hiring a virtual assistant. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and it's not necessarily the client or the virtual assistant. It's just that, it just doesn't work. People marry, people get divorced. Same with clients. Clients marry virtual assistants. They break up.
Get divorced.
It just doesn't work sometimes.
Well, and I think it's an interesting world from VA or other service providers where there's so much talent on the internet to find and to help support your business in any form, whether it's the social media management, VA side, content creation side, digital marketing side. The services go on, and I feel like discovering the right talent that the design style fits in your brand, or the relationship fits well, finding that exact fit is very difficult. So I think beyond discovering and kind of making that initial connection, whether it was on that Facebook group or LinkedIn, how do you find those people that just blend with you well and meet your brand on on a deeper level? What is that next level?
For me, I obviously, I sent out a post. I got tons of interested parties. I interviewed them. I looked at what they were doing, how they were responding to other posts within the group, because I'm a stickler for professionalism, because obviously at some point, my VAs would have some form of contact with clients, and I need to be sure that I can trust them with clients. Not necessarily, yes, trust them that they're not going to steal my clients, but also trust them that they would, represent my business in a professional manner. I also met them for a virtual coffee date. And, I got to see them face to face and in action during their trial process. And everything about them just tells me that, we are just right for each other. I've worked with some of the other virtual assistants, and I really thought it was going to work out. And, from both sides, it was just working really well. And then something happens. It's just something that just completely puts you off. And it could be a way they respond to an email, or the way they deal with something under pressure, because, also in the virtual world or virtual assistance world, things happen last minute sometimes, and you need to be available. You need to, I get it. People have families, etc. I have, I don't have a family, but I do have a husband, and a dog. I guess I have a family.
That counts.
It counts. So, but I would never, for example, I do sort of say I have office hours, but if a client contacts me after hours and say, look, I really need your help, I'm not going to say, I'm terribly sorry, I'm off duty, I will get back in touch with you tomorrow. Maybe it's just my thing and it's not everybody's thing. And that's, I guess, I was just I'm looking for people that work like I do. If I can find that person that work and think like I do, then I know it's a good match. And with my two current virtual assistants, they work like me, they think like me, they never send me anything that's less than top quality. I can almost rest assured I don't even have to check their work. I can just send it like that, and I will know that it's 100% correct. Partly probably because I've drummed this into their heads so much, but also because from starters, I saw these qualities in them, and that's what pulled me to them. And the more we work together, the more it just cements the fact that I can trust them 100%. And that's what it is.
Trust. Yeah. Well, and trust definitely has to be earned. I've found it out the hard way. I think there are plenty of projects that I have gone through, whether people have dropped off the map to support you, or just not performing to your expectations, which sometimes we could place high expectations of quality or of showing, whatever that may be. And it's difficult. I mean, I even had to reschedule, last week. I felt
That's
terrible.
Okay. It happens.
But, it happens. So, but let's step back a little bit. I want to learn about more like early on. Why did you decide to pursue a VA business?
Right. So as I mentioned before, I left a 16-year career in hospitality management about a year ago. My husband and I were managing a property in Panama, and he left and came to the Seychelles, and I was there for a year by myself, managing this property. And I guess in that year, I had always thought, like, I know what I'm doing. I'm really good at what I do, and I still think I'm really good at what I do. But that year proved to me that I should maybe just like drop my ego one step down because it really gave me a kick up the butt. I mean, I worked really hard. I was doing two people's jobs, and for a year, and I didn't see my husband for, I think, I saw him once in 12 months, and we were on two separate sides of the world. It was just really, really tough. So, after a year, I decided to just move to the Seychelles, give it a break. And after I think about 2 weeks, I got bored, and I was thinking of ways to occupy my time. And it really, VA Celebrity really started because I wanted to find something to do. I didn't like this feeling of being bored. You can only read so many books. You can only go to the beach so many times. But I really needed something to occupy my time. And I thought, while I was going to occupy my time, I might as well do it properly. And so I started off offering virtual assistant services on Upwork, actually. That's how I started. I started doing small jobs on Upwork until I landed 2 big clients. And then I thought, sure, this is really nice. I could actually, develop this into a real thing. I started looking into getting a website and setting up email addresses and just learning more about what other services I could offer, because even though I was enjoying what I was doing, I didn't want to really do such a wide variety of services. I wanted to niche down and specialize in things that I really know how to do, and that was marketing. I mean, I studied marketing. I know I'm good at marketing, so that's what I wanted to specialize in. And so VA Celebrity was born. But before that, actually, I had a different company name. My company name was VA Superstar. And because my husband used to call me a superstar, and then I started this company, and then, I don't know, somewhere along the line, I just dropped that name and adopted VA Celebrity and thought, I could do so much more with VA Celebrity. And there we are. VA Celebrity was born. Yes.
So you've created this company, this VA Celebrity, virtual assistant services. Your website says that, you've got different packages. It's very broken out nicely. You got different packages, and it says 10 plus. I mean, you get the first package is 10 plus dedicated hours, and there's 20 plus. And it says dedicated hours to use at your discretion. What kind of services are included within those 10 hours or those 20 hours?
Okay, so we basically offer three services, main services. Branding, which incorporates all the elements of designing a brand for you. Logo design, designing your brand identity, helping you through the process of choosing your colors, choosing the fonts that you want to use, because we mainly work with businesses, online businesses. And so, visually it needs to be really appealing. So that's why, and I'm very creative and I love designing. So, so that was a natural service for me. And then secondly, marketing, all various types of online marketing, and social media management. Social media management is a really hot service because everybody needs it. From a local restaurant down the street to, big airlines and different corporations. Everybody wants to be online. Everybody needs to be online. And this is a service that I think will probably never go extinct, although I have heard people mention, with all the new tools that are coming out, but I don't think it will ever go extinct. People always need help with that. So
I would agree. Sorry to interrupt. I would agree with that, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Obviously, I reach out to you partially for the podcast, but also to learn more about the VA services you provide.
Okay.
And with social media management, what I find is there are so many tools and automated resources to publish to virtually all the social networks you need to.
Yes.
But at the same time, with learning from those who are crushing it on specific social media platforms, what I hear a lot is so much of you've got to post and publish natively to the platform. For example, if you use a social publishing tool, I mean, the list goes on what that can include. Facebook doesn't like that as much as if you were to publish it natively within Facebook itself, or, YouTube or Instagram. And that I find that one really interesting, because that can then add more manual processes in the process, or with VA services or just social media management in general. That can take out the stress or the, I guess, the worry of trying to be present online. But with some people, like myself, even sometimes, is some days you're an introvert, other days you're an extrovert, and some days you want to show up online, other days you don't want to show up online. And so whether that's automated or hopefully supported by other service providers, I think having social media in place, the human element and not the automated element, is incredibly helpful, because you have to adapt. And AI, like artificial intelligence, automated services, can adapt quite the same way as humans can.
Exactly. I mean, you do, all these messenger bots, and it's becoming very popular, and it's a great tool to have, but it's, people buy from people at the end of the day. People use services that people provide. People buy from people, and bots and automated services, they make the process easier, but there still needs to be a person. You still need to, when you communicate, you still need, the other person needs to feel that they are communicating with a human being, someone with feelings, someone that can relate to them. It's not just an automation or a programmed service responding to, keywords that they pick up in a question, or, information that's being input. So from that perspective, I really feel that social media management is going to be around forever. It's a good service to offer. So so that was a natural thing for me, social media management. And with my services, I offer 3 sets of block hours, if you can call it that, 10, 20, and 40 hours. And that's really for people that they need consistent assistance on a monthly basis, ongoing. They know, they might not know how much help they need, but they know they need some help. So they would go and purchase, for example, 10 hours from us. And for 10 hours, that we help them with any of the services that we provide. Plus, I work with some coaches, online coaches, and oftentimes they need assistance with services we don't necessarily advertise that we offer, but we have the skill set to help them, set up their scheduling, help them tweak, or integrate this program into their website. We can do that, and we do help them with that. It's just that our main services, our drawing power, are those 3, headings. So, so that's really what that is. And then we also offer services by the hour. Sometimes people just need a logo designed, or they just need something tweaked on their website. So instead of purchasing block set of hours, we would just quickly do the job, bill them however many hours we worked on their project, and then maybe in a month or 2 or 3 months time they'll need our help again, and then they'll reach out and we'll do something for them again. And then of course, with the branding, I have a very specific branding package that I offer, which is it's from the I have an idea to here's my website. I am now a real legitimate business. I can start trading. So that package helps, and it also helps people through the setup business. Like, what do you need to do now? What do you need to do now? So I call it the branding kit, start to launch, but it's basically helps them with the whole setup process and more, because they get so much out of it. They have an idea and they end up with a business. And a team of virtual assistants that help them along the way, step by step.
Completely agree. Completely agree. Well, and it's interesting too. Um, for example, I fit in the group of I'm building a business as a side business right now, where my time's consumed with my day job during the day. So what I'm getting in place is the support team around me to make sure the business, something's actually happening in the business when I'm not working on it 9 hours plus of the day, where I'm fitting in the evenings and the mornings and the weekends. And I think the ability to tap into VA services is so valuable to businesses of any size, especially with your ability to scale it based on the needs. I mean, to it, you can adapt it based on the
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
and actually, I do have a question around social media management or that area where you help brands stay consistent and present online. Does that include like the copywriting on social media posts? That includes image creation, maybe?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It includes content curation. So I, some of my clients are like me, a little bit control freakish. So they provide the content. They like, no, we want to do it. We want to feel like we're really involved with our
Is
business.
that helpful?
It's helpful. It's helpful, and
Do
it's
you like
absolutely
it?
fine.
Yeah.
I do like it because sometimes clients just hand over stuff and they're like, "You do it,"
Yeah.
And I mean, we can do it. Of course, we can do it. It's just they don't. Sometimes you feel like, maybe they want to be a little bit more involved. But I get it. People are different. That's the beauty about the human race. We're all different. We have different personalities. So some of my clients, they sort of with us every step of the way. We communicate with them the whole day, the whole week. We design graphics with them. We create the copy with them, and then they just sign it off, and we schedule and we post. And then we have clients that just hand over, and they, this is what I want, this is when I want it, you go and do it. And that's also fine. We also enjoy it because it helps us to sort of activate that creativity in us, because it's different clients, different companies, different lines of businesses. So you learn to think on your feet, and because we don't obviously work for the same client the entire day. We have to schedule our time accordingly. So you might be working with a restaurant business the first half of your day, and then you switch over and you're working with a fashion brand, and it's completely different. And that's, I think, also what's lovely, because it makes it so interesting. You have clients, and they come from different business backgrounds, and you learn about that business too while you are helping them, and that's lovely. So yeah, going back to social media management, it includes from design work, creating graphics, to curating content, doing research on topics that they maybe want to discuss in their copy, to actually writing, just doing everything. Writing out the copy, getting them to approve it, and then, of course, engaging with their audience. Some people just don't have time to do that. So we would then step in and engage on their behalf, and then refer any sort of important issues, questions to them, and then they can take it from there.
That was great. I'm trying to remember what thought I had. Oh man, super good comments. And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say this is so helpful, and this is a mixture of the podcast, but also the discovery. This coffee.
Yes.
What do you call it? Coffee call?
A virtual coffee date.
Virtual coffee date. See, I was trying to remember.
But you can call it whatever you like.
Good. So yeah, this is very helpful, and it's very interesting to see the potential for growth for brands, and it gets me excited to discover what services and opportunities there are out there, and knowing that these kinds of services can be taken over by those who are professionals like yourself, who can support no matter where you are in the world. I mean, you're located the south. You said the South Africa, basically south tip of.
Yeah, I'm Seychelles, Indian Ocean, 5 hours flight from South Africa.
Yeah, and I'm located in Los Angeles. So it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
And so we're completely different time zones. And so, Janine, I just want to thank you for being on this podcast. I really appreciate your insights and your professionalism to share about your brand of VA Celebrity.
Thank you. It was lovely to talk with you today, and I enjoyed it very much. Thank you. And I look forward to hearing back from you.
Cool. And before you hang up, let's wrap up one other thing. I'm going to do a quick intro with you as well, because we got right into it. So, hello and welcome to the Content Supply Podcast. Today we have Janine Henwood on with us today of VA Celebrity Services. Did I say that right? VA Celebrity Services? VA
Celebrity Virtual Services.
Virtual Services. Thanks, Janine, for being on.
You're welcome. We offer virtual assistant services covering branding, marketing, social media management for people basically across the world. We cover different time zones, and that's the beauty about virtual assistants. You can work with clients from all around the world from the comfort of your home.
Completely agree. That was great. Super good. Thanks for it. I wanted to butcher it so you would say it right. So you would introduce it.
Oh, thank you.
I did that on purpose. So I definitely want to follow up with you.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm glad I got the information from you. And let me
You have my contact, and obviously you have my contact. You have my email. So
I do. Yeah. Is email the best way to keep in contact with you?
Email, or just, whenever, if you want to hop on a call again. I mean, I'm available, obviously my time zone hours, but I work from like 9 to 7 p.m. sometimes to 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also work sometimes really early in the morning. So it just all depends. If you need to get in touch, the best is probably on email, and then we can take it from there and set up, a call or whatever we need to do.
Okay. Copy that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you. But yeah, like I said, like I'll be in touch, and
okay.
And I'll definitely follow up with you once the podcast gets ready here.
Perfect. I'd love to
December.
hear it. Well, yeah. I'd love to have a link to it.
For sure. Yeah, I'm very excited to share it. Well, Janine, seriously, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for giving your time to do this, and we'll talk soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So we mentioned content and brand building throughout this episode. If you're overwhelmed with running your business and you know you need more content, especially an ongoing constant supply of content that's custom, all in order to take your brand to the next level, then make sure to learn more and check out our website of Content Supply at contentsupply.io. So thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you on the next episode.